Alright, so now that you guys can hear me. Sorry about that. Welcome to the Over30Clan Summer Racing Series. My name is Over30. I'll be your host tonight. This is a second exhibition that we've run. We're in anticipation of the next season playing a set of courses. These exhibition races are just for us to get used to how the races work, how the qualifying works, get used to the different cars and tracks, just to get people situated. We are all pretty much moving from Forza 7 over to a set of courses. You can imagine that's one hell of a jump. We are seeing the best lap today posted by Vinny at 125.83, which is one of the fastest laps we've seen tonight. Vinny has managed to catch up, as we saw when Reaper took that nosedive into the wall and spun around. It afforded him, his lead afforded him that one mistake, but Vinny is now caught up and he's only within 6 or 7 car lengths on Vinny, on Reaper as well. So Vinny will be pressuring Reaper quite heavily here in the next couple laps. We are on lap number... We have 5 laps complete, so we have 15 laps to go, and it should be a pretty exciting race. We do have a low turnout tonight. Only 4 drivers, but c'est la vie for exhibitions. They will vary from week to week, I'm sure, but we will continue to run these exhibition races to give our drivers the ability to kind of use things before we jump into a full season. So Vinny here looks like he's trying to be on the attack. He's getting a lot much closer to Reaper, definitely in his draft, as he pulls to the outside and tries to sling shot past him. Doesn't quite work. Reaper manages to hit a gear a little bit early and kind of rocket ahead and continue with his very narrow lead as Vinny decides to take Reaper, would appear to be on the outside, but Reaper manages to block him with his car. So Vinny's just kind of abiding his time, doing a little drafting on Reaper, you know, making sure that he doesn't make any mistakes, and that he has, when he does decide to pass it, it's a safe and appropriate time to do so. So while these two lovebirds are having a little bit of foreplay, let's go ahead and take a look at Reaper. As you can see there, Vinny pressuring him in his rear view mirror the whole time, so I can definitely get on the driver's psyche a little bit as Vinny comes super close. As you can see, super close to Reaper there, almost manages to smash into the back end of him, but doesn't, stays out in front. Reaper's best lap time dropping down to 126, probably due to the added pressure he's getting from Vinny. Let's take a look at Black Death here, who has definitely seen better days in his windshield. He's about I would say a quarter of the lap behind the 2 leaders, so still not out of this race. We still have a lot of track time to go. He's sporting his best lap time of 127.23. He's still sporting a tremendous amount of fuel, so he's good there. And let's take a look at Firewater, one of the newer additions to the Over 30, who is fairly close to Black Death, actually. He's only about a half a turn. He's only about a turn away from Black Death right now, so plenty of opportunity for him to catch up. You can see his windshield, on the other hand, is clear as a bell. So we see him coming around here. Black Death followed by actually, sorry, Firewater is out in front of Black. My apologies. He is in 3rd place. Black Death is catching up, though. We'll check back with these guys in just a moment. So let's go back to Reaper here, who's now behind Vinny. So Vinny manages to pull out ahead of Reaper. Reaper not giving him much time and space to pull far ahead, so they're still battling for 1st and 2nd. So we do have a battle for 1st and 2nd, a battle for 3rd and 4th. Should be a pretty exciting race tonight, even with the low driver count. If we're checking with the chopper, with the chase cam, you see that Vinny is just slightly out of sight of the chopper here. Well, that's much better. The trail cam, you can definitely see Vinny in a much better light. So this is more of that Forza look as, ooh, Vinny takes that turn, I think puts a bit too much power on the exit of that turn and manages to spin his tires and hit the grass. So he's going to be struggling to get back on to the track here, giving Vinny a lot of time to catch up. So now we have a very tight second, third, and fourth place. Vinny recovering now in third place. Firewater managing to pull slightly ahead. Black Death is very close behind. We take a look here at Black Death's angle. We can see that he is right on Reaper's ass. Reaper managing to hit the dirt there. So Vinny now, time and space to do what he does best, which is push hot laps. Reaper hitting the wall, doing a 360 spin, not having the best lap of his life. He'll probably have to hit the pits after that crash. That looked pretty terrible. So he might use this time to actually pit. Let's see if Reaper actually does that or not. So he is. So he's opting to do a stop and go, as we can see my car there, just waiting in the pits. So Black Death and Firewater now are battling for second and third place. Reaper now with an early pit. Currently in fourth. That might have worked out in his favor, though. That was a pretty terrible crash to take, but because he was right next to the pit lane, it's not going to hurt him too badly. We do require all drivers to pit at least once throughout this race, so as long as he can make another 12 laps on a single tank of fuel, which should not be a problem, he should be able to shake that off and have it not affect him too badly. So we'll see here as Black Death looks like he's trying to take Firewater on the outside. You can see there in the rearview mirror, takes the turn a little bit too aggressively and hits the dirt. So let's take a look at Black Death here. He was still not allowing Firewater to get out of his sight. Vinny finishing up his lap number 8, going into lap number 9. Or lap 10, sorry. So he's 9 laps down, 11 laps to go. Just switching over here to Vinny. Take a look at Vinny here in his Mercedes. Beautiful looking car. Oops, wrong key. We are now looking at Reaper in his cockpit view here. Reaper is currently in fourth place. So we recovered from that last incident here where he hit that wall that he's just passing now. So manages not to pull off the same stunt twice. We do have a big fight between Firewater and Black Death. Let's go ahead and take a look at that fight there as Black Death is taking him on the outside, manages to slingshot around and claim second place. So Black Death now 25 seconds down from Vinny. Claims second place here on lap number 9. Or lap number 10, I should say. So we are about halfway through the race today. Firewater having none of it, though, as we flip over to Firewater, looking to take Black on the inside as they both pass the line here. Firewater braking a tad bit early. Touches the wall just slightly, manages to recover. Black Death pulling ahead. Bit more of an aggressive brake line from Black there. There's a couple turns on this track that are very deceiving, where you feel that you need to brake a lot more than you actually do. This is probably one of the harder turns in the entire track, and the rest of them are pretty wide open and allow for a lot of acceleration. So you see here as they almost keep their foot completely on the gas as they accelerate through what appears to be a tight left turn, but it turns out it's pretty wide and sweeping, so the apex is pretty stretched out. Firewater with an aggressive brake line on turn number 4. Manages to pull a little bit closer to Black Death. Take a look at Firewater here as he executes some of these turns. TV position 3 camera. So Black Death pulling slightly more ahead. Let's go check in with Black Death here. He still has that cracked windshield. So here on lap number 12, pits are now officially open. What I need to find is a way to hotkey these different views. That's a nice view. I like that. We're playing around with the camera here. Bear with me. The wheel well view. Got the rear passenger view. Got the sexy driver view. It's actually quite a nice view. Got the tail view. So the one criticism I do have of the camera controls is that it does a lot of cycling. And I wish I could, might have to create some sort of macro so I could have one key per camera to make this a little bit more smooth. So let's flip over to Vinny here, currently in first place. He's coming out of the pits. Opting to pit fairly early. So 13 laps down, seven more laps to go. Vinny is out in front by about a third of a lap lead. I believe most of our drivers have pitted. That could be something I can display as well as when they pit. Just thinking out loud here. Trying to get everything situated with the overlay and the data that comes in and the cameras. As we have the police helicopter chase camera, I like to call it. The Forza overhead third-person driving camera. Those are kind of neat. This was the GoPro camera. The selfie camera. I dropped my camera out the window well camera. I'm sitting in a high chair in the middle seat camera. Forgot my phone on the dashboard camera. Yeah, that's not bad. So the best lap time is from Vinny with 125, Black Death with a close second at 126. 126.2, and Reaper just barely behind with a 126.4, so lap times are all pretty consistent. Got Firewater and Reaper almost a minute, between them about a minute and a half. 50 seconds and 120 seconds behind the, or 1 point, whatever, minute 20 behind the leader here. Black Death is out in front with the 126. I don't think Black Death has actually done his pit yet, so Vinny did drop back to second there. Not too far behind though, so Black Death will drop back to second place once he's complete with his pit as well. Let's take a look at Black Death here, see if he managed to keep his windshield from cracking. Still hasn't replaced that windshield, so something he's been driving with the entire time. Last second decides to go into the pits here, so Black will be pitting now. So this will give Vinny an opportunity to catch up. I think Black is just probably going to top up the fuel and go. So Vinny manages to get back into first place. Vinny with the 125.1 lap time, which is his current best. So 5 laps to go here. Vinny out in front. Most drivers, I think all drivers, have now done their mandatory pit. So I like this camera a lot, but unless the driver's on the wheel, this is very shaky. If someone's using a controller and they're kind of nudging left and right a lot, then this camera gets super shaky because this actually shows input. It kind of locks to the car in the smallest movement of the car, the camera follows it. So, but it's a neat little passing camera, I like to call it. This is more like the approach camera. Dash, driver. Just don't like the cycling. And then the trackside cameras in this game aren't too terrible either. This gives you more of that NASCAR sort of race feel. A TV spectator. It's Black Death. Vinny here. Comes around the final turn and completes lap number 16, so 4 laps to go. Let's take a look at Firewater here as he is driving like a bat out of hell. Taking this turn in 5th gear. Manages to hold on. A lot of the drivers are running soft tires today. Giving that little extra grip. Firewater pulling off 128.5, which is his current best lap. I apologize. No, very close to his current best lap. His current best lap is 120.3. So 0.02 of a second off. Driving a pretty good line here. Nice exit acceleration. Good line. So Black Death has appeared to have completely caught up to Vinny here, so let's take a look at this as he is now only 10 car lengths or so behind Vinny. So we do only have 3 laps to go, so you have to have some very aggressive driving if you make plans to make a dent here on Vinny's lead. So very competitive first and second out of Black. Some surprising laps there. Still almost 1 full second behind on best lap from Vinny, but manages to catch up. About a 2.28 second gap or so. Look at the Forza cam, I like to call it. Come around the final turn, completing lap number 18. We have 2 laps remaining. Vinny out in front by about 3 second gap. Managing to pull slightly more ahead of Black. Black being very cautious on this first turn. Black managing to reduce his gap to just under 3 seconds or so. A lot of time to have to be made up in a lap and a half here as they come around the final turn of lap number 18, going into lap number 19. We're completed lap number 19, going to lap number 20, so we have 1 lap to go. Black Death within striking chance of Vinny, but that with having a 3-second gap is a lot to ask for in a single lap. Vinny and Black Death about halfway through, just over halfway through lap 20 here. So Vinny will take first place here. Black Death will come in second. Good job, Vinny. So Vinny is our winner this evening as he comes up on Reaper here. He's probably going to hit the brakes and go to the pits. Let's take a look at Vinny here as he is celebrating his win. Still have my blood. Really? Oh, damn it. I do. You know what it is? I did a lot of network configuration today, and I overlooked some things with my stream. I think I kind of defaulted on what I had last week, so that stupid fucking black dot, man. It's like what, right? It's like right there, in case you're wondering. Yeah. I know, I fixed it. I don't know why it's back. I guess I didn't save whatever I did, so whatever. This is for me to iron out the kinks just as much as the driver so used to the track. So I'm still getting used to this game, man. It's cool. It gives you a lot of tools, but man, it's messed up. Let's check in with the drivers.
He decided to make sure I was out of your way, and
good race, guys. At least we had some fighting there.
And we're just Reaper's on his last lap right now, and we're
fucking with
we're
him.
harassing him after the race is over. Yeah.
Doing little nana boo boo stick face of doo doo, same thing.
As
You still on the
Vinny
lap?
swipes him on the right hand side.
Yeah, I do.
Oh my god, you got another lap?
Yeah.
Wow.
See, there's all the shit flying from my car again. Ugh.
I saw it actually.
Yeah.
Hey, Black, were you driving with a cracked windshield since like lap 2?
Oh yeah. Yep.
What'd you do?
Work it didn't go away.
Oh no, from lap 2 till 20 when I pitted.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
No, you pitted on lap 20. Did you pit earlier than that? You never pitted earlier than that, right?
No.
'Cause I thought when I saw you come out of the pits, you were still broken.
No. When I finally pitted, it fixed everything. It took a while though.
I actually pitted correctly today. I think you definitely have to do some sort of a splash or get some sort of a repair to count.
Bad fuel. That doesn't work.
I think you could just take 1 liter, get a little splash. The mandatory pit. I went for the full shebang today, though. Got new tires.
Nice.
Who's this behind me?
That's me.
All right, I'm taking this fucking balls to the wall right now.
All right. Let's do this.
As Reaper lines up the bowling pins.
Yep. There he goes.
Aw.
And bam! Wham! Oh, that was exciting.
Ooh-wee.
That was an exciting way to crash. Can we do that in the
That's
real
it.
race?
I'm out.
It's over anyways. You had your you should have finished the race, right?
I can't. I'm
Oh.
totally
Broken?
fucked. Yeah.
Yeah, you pinballed off the wall and came right across the track.
So what happens now? Is there a timer or
There should be a timer, I guess. 30.
Can you get pushed across the line? I wonder if that's possible.
I'm stuck in the like almost in the pit.
Yeah, here. I'm coming. I'm coming.
You're reversing.
Oh, my car does move. I can push.
You've been disqualified for not doing the mandatory pit, jerks. I guess the race is
Oh.
over now.
Yeah, it is.
I was trying to leave
Is
the
it?
pit to come and rescue you with
somebody's
my
punching
pace
Yeah,
car.
no, there it goes. Race is over officially.
That was not bad for only 4 drivers. I mean, Reaper, you, and Fire were fighting it out there for a few laps,
Yeah.
and Vinny and
At least I
Black.
finished.
My best lap was 126.4.
Both me and Black got the black flag at the beginning. We started early.
Yeah.
Pitted.
Yeah, I saw that you disappeared off my screen. I'm like, where the hell did they go? It's like you guys were in the pits. I'm like, oh, okay. Whoops. Is there like a sound? It doesn't go like D D D ding. It's just colors and then nothing and then go, right? Like has those
Yes.
red dots come up and then it just pauses for a second and then you're allowed to drive and doesn't really tell you.
My thought is that they wanted the Christmas light tree to be synced with the start of the race, and they didn't get it quite right. And there's about a 3-second gap
Oh,
between
okay.
when the tree finishes and when the race starts. And yeah, if
That seems slightly important.
yeah, it does. I might actually make a mod that has a timer on it.
That'd be cool.
If
Or
I
even
make
one that goes
one that-
DDD boo. That'd be even better.
Right.
Or just
So-
someone from the sidelines going, "Go!"
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would be an improvement.
Ready, psycho.
Did you guys notice anything on the side of the track if there's like a dude waving a flag or anything at the start of the race?
No,
check.
I didn't
I
look.
didn't know.
I was fixated on the lights.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
too.
Don't look too close
Yeah,
at
I
the
didn't
spectators, man. They're freaky. When you go into free camera mode, which is something I can actually do now because I have the mod installed, you can actually zoom into one of these people. They're basically just like flat entities with one dimension, and they
Gotcha.
always look at whatever direction you're looking at them from. So it's like those scary house with the pictures that always stare at you. That's kind of the
Yeah.
same thing with these spectators.
Well, even though I sucked, that was fun.
That was fun, yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
I need to find like a shitty keyboard and set it up as a macro keyboard and find a way to put all of these cameras that I have to cycle through to their own goddamn buttons.
Oh,
Does
yeah,
that have
you should be able to use a Stream Deck for that, huh?
You want to get my wife's permission for me to buy another toy?
Well,
She
what
thinks,
you don't know.
the firewall cost me $200.
That's
Ah,
a
shit, I'm
Canadian
still streaming.
dollars
Okay.
too. So
All right, thanks guys for joining us, and I'm gonna shut the stream off now because I've said too much.